Yeah, we talked about not yielding, and it didn't feel good the way they got off to a good start in the first half, 13 points in transition. We were, again, loose with the ball. They have quick hands. And then in the second half, we really talked about, all right, we didn't finish the half well. Let's come out. Let's just go get quality looks and make them earn. And then sure enough, a couple turnovers, a couple breakdowns defensively. And then there we were. And I just, it was kind of like, what's going on here? But they did stay faithful, and they just, again, started moving hard offensively. Kihei got it rolling. Again, we made some shots, which always helps. And I thought Caden really rim protected and then rebounded. And we just, Jaden, we made plays down the stretch, but made some baskets and plays during the guts of the second half. And, yeah, did they miss some shots that were surprising? Miami, of course. But in that, it was just trying to not yield and who was going to flinch first in that one. And so that was, again, plays made, good play. I thought Cody gave us a good lift. And, again, I just went with that group. Though they were fatigued, so was Miami. So it was just who's going to last.
Kihei had such a rough outing last time. He seems like the kind of kid that just puts that behind him, no fear shooting, hit the two big threes late in this one. Did you know you were going to get that kind of bounce back from him?
I don't think to predict what young men are going to do, no, but he really, again, getting his 1,000th point was significant. And, he hit big shots, big finish. And, you got your hands full when you're guarding Charlie Moore because he can do stuff. He's a competitor. Both those guys are going at it. But I just thought, Kihei, we need guys, I said that if it's there, you take the shot. And you don't hesitate. We talked about run your offense to score. Try to be sound. Again, in the second half, we probably had, once that early stretch came in, we took pretty good care of the ball. So we got the looks. We were moving hard, different kinds of looks. Jaden, Kihei, everyone, and Cody hit a big three and obviously a big drive. So, can't say enough for that. And the bounce back that Kihei had was good, and we need it all.
Caden, it appears that he's playing harder with more passion. Is that the case? I mean, he really seems intense out there.
Yeah, I mean, we needed. I had a decision to make when he picked up his fourth foul, and but I just thought his ability. We were kind of one or two more stops might have been the difference, and I think he might have even blocked when he almost got his fifth foul chasing a long pass. But that being said, he played. That was the challenge. Play as hard as you can for as long as you can. And whatever we do, win or lose, let's make sure there was nothing left in that locker room. It was all on the floor. And again, not perfect, but I think the guys tried to do that. And Caden certainly brought some real good. What helped us a lot with Caden was his mobility. His mobility defensively to bounce those guards out. Poppy wasn't where he usually is in this game, and I thought, well, I like Caden's mobility in this one, and so I just went with him. And again, Poppy, they'll all get their chances, but I liked what he toughened it out in the second half, went the whole way.
So what I asked you about Kihei, Jaden had that real rough second half against Tech. He had a huge second half for you in this one. His confidence level in a situation like that, and taking some of those free throws at the end. Yeah, no, we needed those, and that bucket he hit as the clock was going down. Reese hit a tough one as the shot clock was expiring, and then Jaden's spin fall away, that was significant. And again, it takes that to win on the road, and it meant a lot for them. It meant a lot for us. But Jaden really answered, and they were trying to ISO him, and the guy did a pretty good job. But you could see those guys were getting tired. But that's what this is about now. We were only playing a small rotation, and it even tightened more in the second half. And so, again, Cody was going good. Armand's got a little bit of a sprained or turf toe, and so he wasn't quite there. But he hit some early, and I just thought, I like this group that's out there, and that's what we went with.
You had a couple guests in the house, two Kyles and
yes.
Trey. To have those guys anywhere, but particularly on the road, is that nice to see?
It meant so much to see Kyle Guy, his little man, his baby, and then, of course, his wife. Lex was here, and it's Chance, Anthony, Guy. And then to see Kyle and his wife together, that was great. down here, and we got to see Kyle before when they played the Wizards, and then to see Trey Murphy, that was so special because hadn't seen him, and just to look back, and we had a shot go in and out, and I looked at Kyle, and I was like, and he kind of smiled at me like, I would have made that, coach. I know that was his thought. And then one of the first guys I ever recruited at Washington State named Kyle Weaver, played a couple years in the NBA, got drafted. He helped turn our program around at Washington State, and he lives now in Miami, and I hadn't seen him forever. And I brought him in before the game and just introduced him to the team and said, this guy is one of the reasons I'm still coaching, and he's from Wisconsin but went out in the Pac-10 and had a great career and a long professional career. So it just means a lot to see those guys. That's the reason you do it. You do it because you're competitive, you want to win and all that stuff. But then when all that fades away, you look at the lives and you say, that was worth it. And that's the way I felt seeing those three.
Can I ask you before we let you out of here about Duke? No rest for the weary, I guess. But you've obviously just played them, very familiar. What's the key in that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're a special, talented team, and it'll take us to play at a high level and quality on both ends. And again, teams like that, they make you pay, but we'll just have to be as ready as we can. And again, I'm sure just like Miami was, they'll be ready. Obviously we had to hit a last-second shot. It was a hard-fought game, and do you expect anything less? And that'll be the case. So we'll have to, again, it doesn't get so complicated now. It's just, but can you execute at a high level on both ends against the talented teams that you go against?